Coach, you were able to hold Penn State scoreless for about the first 3.5 minutes of the game, but gave up 62% shooting throughout the rest of the game. How do you keep that initial defensive effort going down the course of the game?
Yeah, the thing about it is they got a lot of paint touches, and paint touches generally result in higher shooting percentages. I think early in the game we did a good job of limiting their paint touches, but as the game went on, Merkel in particular was able to get really deep position, and she's really tough to once she catches it, because of her height, she's really tough for us to contest those shots. So we needed to do a better job of not letting her get such deep position, because those paint touches are usually result in a higher shooting percentage.
John over here from She Got Game. When you look at the senior class, what about this program, do you think they've left behind, and kind of the legacy they've left behind?
Well, I think their fight and their grit and their determination. This has been a senior year for our seniors that has been marked by, so much adversity in terms of, being healthy and being out there and being able for them, especially with so many transfers, being able to build that connection and that camaraderie through playing. I've talked about this before that, we just, the injury and illness bug has just hit us throughout the season. And so being able to build that chemistry on the court has been a challenge for us. Not even just on the court during games, but, in practice. We routinely don't have the top half of our rotation in practice. So some of the things that, at this point in the season should kind of be second nature, it's just not, because we haven't had the time together on the court, the time together in practice to build that. So this senior class has left, to me, a legacy of determination, grit, and fight to keep coming back out and night in and night out, even with, all the things that we go through. We do our best to be competitive for however long, that entails for a particular game, and that's what we're appreciative of this senior class.
Someone that kind of embodies everything you said, battling back injury, kind of seen the good and the ugly. It's been here all 4 years. Can you, what positive can you say about Antonia Bates and just her entire transition?
Yeah, Antonia has, it's been really cool to watch her growth from her freshman year to her senior year. Watch how much she has blossomed into a leader for this team. The fight and the determination, the battle back from, knee surgery, and to come out this year and to, be available every game. And, I think it just speaks volumes about who she is as a young woman, as well as who she is as a competitor.
Monty left the game several times, seemed to be walking off the court with a little bit of a limp, but still led the team with 17 points. What can you say about her toughness?
Yeah, the same thing. I mean, like I said, she's not healthy. Lauren Swan is not healthy. Nene Njai is not healthy. But they're out here playing, and they're battling, and, they're giving everything that they have. Kayla Ivy played with a broken nose, that she got in the last game. So, I mean, that resilience, that determination, I mean, that's what I'm talking about with this senior class, that even though they're not healthy, they're not 100%, but they're going out there and they're playing through and they're battling as much as they can, and they're leaving it all out on the floor, and we take our hats off to them for that.
Coach, as a former WNBA player, you always show, respect, and you always come back to the games. You always try to give back to the game. With everything going on as far as the NBA, negotiations, WNBA negotiations, as well as the Unrivaled, what can you say, the impact of that, and just more so how important that is and pivotal to the women's game right now?
Yeah, I think it's hugely important and hugely pivotal. Those things are never easy, right? The negotiations, they at least the ones I was a part of, they were not easy. They go down to the wire. There's lots of back and forth. They get contentious. They really do. They get contentious. But, at the end of the day, I think, we have tremendous leadership with the Players Association. And I'm confident and hopeful that, they will get a deal done. These things tend to go down to the wire. So, but I think everybody involved understands what's at stake and understands how detrimental a work stoppage would be. So I think, they will get in that room and they will figure it out. They'll iron it out. They'll find a way to let this league continue on its path of growth, because the impact of what women's professional basketball is having on not only just this country but the world is incredible. And we certainly don't want that momentum to be slowed. Thank you, guys.